headlines about the grim state of the economy. I'm sure you're feeling it too. The housing market, the whole thing. Now, find out what you can do to protect yourself from foreclosure.
This is NBC6 South Florida Today.
It is impossible to ignore the daily headlines about the current state of our housing market and the economy. Nearly every day we're faced with the news of plummeting property values and rising foreclosure rates. Shari Olefson has written a book with practical solutions to save your home and credit rating as well if you're on the brink of foreclosure. Her book is called Foreclosure Nation. First, I want to welcome you.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Just want to make you aware and the viewers aware that we are waiting for President Obama to address the nation regarding a pullout of troops from Iraq. When that happens, I'll have to interrupt you, and we'll continue it at another time.
Yes.
All right. When did this book come out? How new is this book?
Well, the book is actually coming out next week. Okay. I started writing it about 2 years ago. It started out as a book about the subprime crisis, which is the situation we were in 2 years ago. In October, of course, the whole book had to be rewritten when the entire economy more or less imploded.
Obviously, it turned out to be a lot more important than you may have thought it was 2 years ago.
You know, some things happen that way, yeah.
I mean, in a nutshell, we can't ask you to give us the entire book in 5 minutes, but what can someone do if they've lost their job and are kind of foundering and are in danger of losing their home?
Well, you know what, I'll tell you, Bob, the biggest issue is that people tend to feel this sense of disempowerment. And the book is all about empowering the average homeowner, but also commercial real estate owners, giving owners the tools to be able to find the statistics. I mean, this is not a guessing game. There are many crystal balls that will let you know what your house will probably be worth in a year, how many houses are selling now, those types of things. Those statistics and those analytics are available. They're very easy to understand, and they're laid out in the book for readers in pieces so they can read as much or as little as they want. And then book readers are also welcome to utilize the website, foreclosurenationthebook.com, where there's continuously updating information like that will help make those types of decisions.
How badly is a person's credit damaged if the home is foreclosed and the person is kicked out of the house?
At this point, I think that we're looking at these things on a daily basis. Even the president's bailout plans, which, as you know, every week we're getting information about these very complicated plans, but it's still evolving. So my guess would be that fast forward 1 year from now, a credit situation during this time period is going to be looked at very differently and much more sympathetically in terms of your score.
Being out of work is looked at already much more sympathetically than it was, a year or two ago, because it's affecting so many more people every day.
And that's exactly true. And that's really part of what the book is about, too, is to give Americans a much broader understanding of what this crisis is and what it may mean to us 100 years from now. Because some of these plans that are being implemented by our administration will solve today's problems, but they're also creating sort of a cultural mindset. In other words, they're really indoctrinating concepts like bailouts. They're really institutionalizing concepts like foreclosure or bankruptcy as part of our American culture. And we as Americans need to decide 100 years from now or even 50 years from now, is that the kind of country we want to live in, where those are socially accepted institutions? That is, by definition, a foreclosure nation.
Now, we just got some relatively good news in the last 2 days that the sales of existing homes are up very significantly in both Miami-Dade and Broward County, about 50% up in both counties.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the reason that they're up is not so good. The value of homes continues to decline month after month after month. However, people obviously are jumping in now. Any advice for people who are seeing the price of homes falling into an area that they are considering?
Well, you know, the thing is that goes against the indicators, and I would strongly suggest looking for resources like Foreclosure Nation or like foreclosurenation.com, the website, only because that really gives you an indication of where it would impact you. Certain segments, like condominiums, for example, are still really not selling, and there are some reasons for that that can be explained in more detail on the website or in the book. Other segments, like existing home sales in the $200,000 range, are doing very, very well. So individuals really need to look at the factors that impact them personally, and I think that there's nothing more important than information. I mean, information is power.
Do you look for continued devaluation of homes, and if so, for how long?
Again, that goes to the specific market segment. The experts are saying
Let's talk South Florida.
Okay. The experts are saying another 10 to 15%. Overall in this country, we've lost about $3.3 trillion in home equity. My personal opinion is that the condominium market in South Florida will continue to have problems because the lenders aren't lending on those, and because we do have, a lot of this goes to the law of supply and demand, we have a lot of supply.
Sherry, thank you so much for being with us.
Likewise, thanks for educating people.
If you'd like the link where you can purchase Sherry's book, Foreclosure Nation, just log on to NBC6.net. Rocks.